How you guys doing? Today is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through last night's elite performances from Monday Night Football. And of course, in addition to college basketball from last night, I'm going to preview tonight's NBA season openers, as of course the 2020-2021 NBA season does start tonight, so it's really interesting. I'm going to get right into that. Starting with last night's and Monday Night Football performance, the Cincinnati Bengals hosted their division rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. In this game, they were able to get a 17-0 lead over the Steelers and beat them 27-17 when it was all said and done to get this win. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, their starting quarterback Ben Roethlisberger would complete 20 of his 38 passes, throwing for 170 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Their leading rusher on the ground was Benny Snell Jr., who had 84 yards on 18 carries, and he had a touchdown on the ground. Additionally, he had 23 yards through the air, which would give him a total of 107 total yards of offense on the day. The leading receiver was Deontay Johnson, who had 59 yards and 8 receptions and a touchdown. Also, Chase Claypool had 54 yards and 3 receptions. On the defensive side of the ball, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cameron Hayward, and Avery Williamson would lead the team with 7 tackles each. TJ Watt, their young defensive end, would finish with 4 tackles and a sack, as Stephon Tuitt had the other sack of the day for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For the Cincinnati Bengals, their starting quarterback Ryan Finley would complete 7 of his 13 passes, throwing for 89 yards and a touchdown. He also ran for 47 yards and a touchdown, which would give him a total of 136 yards of offense. Their leading rusher was Giovanni Bernard, who had 83 yards and 25 carries and a touchdown. He also had 14 yards through the air and another touchdown, which would give him a total of 97 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns. Their leading receiver was their elite wide receiver AJ Green, who had 40 yards and 2 receptions for the day. On the defensive side of the ball, Josh Burns would lead the way with 9 total tackles on the day, as he also recovered a fumble. Also, Von Bell would finish with 7 tackles of his own. Carl Lawson would finish with 2 tackles, as he had the only sack of the day for the Bengals. Mackenzie Alexander finished with 6 tackles, as he had the only interception of the night. And with this win, the Cincinnati Bengals are now 3-10-1, as they sit at the bottom of the AFC North. Of course, they haven't clinched the playoffs, but this is a very big win, as they acted in part to spoil the Pittsburgh Steelers season. With this loss, the Pittsburgh Steelers are 11-3. They're currently sitting at the top of the AFC North, leading the Cleveland Browns by a game. And right now, they're sitting third in the AFC playoff picture after initially leading. They were 11-0 to start the season, and they lost their last 3 games. Not the most impressive streak to be on right now, but as of right now, because they have already clinched the playoffs, they don't have that much to worry about, but they have been slipping down, as the Chiefs and the Bills have just passed them up following this game last night. And that's what's going on in the NFL. In terms of Week 16, that's not really going to pick up until Friday, as the Minnesota Vikings take on the New Orleans Saints. But, of course, I'll get into that in a second. Jumping out to college basketball, because, of course, college basketball is being played. First-ranked Gonzaga was able to beat Northwestern State 95-57. Corey Kispert led the way with 27 points and 7 rebounds. Second-ranked Baylor was able to beat unranked Arkansas Pine Bluff 99-42, as Jared Butler led the way with 14 points and 7 assists. 8th-ranked Tennessee was able to beat unranked St. Joe's at home 102-66, as Santiago Vescovi would finish with 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. 21st ranked Florida State would beat unranked Gardner-Webb 72-59, as Anthony Polite led the way with 15 points and 9 rebounds. Florida State is now 5-1 on the season. And then last but not least, 24th ranked Virginia Tech was able to beat unranked Longwood 84-58 to jump to 7-1. Kevi Aluma would finish with 14 points for the Virginia Tech Hokies. Looking out to tonight's performances, 16th ranked Virginia will host William & Mary on ACC Network at 2 o'clock. 9th ranked Wisconsin will face off against unranked Nebraska on FS1 at 7 o'clock. Also at 7 o'clock, 14th ranked Mizzou will host 6-2 unranked Bradley. At 7 o'clock, unranked Oklahoma will host 15th ranked Texas Tech on ESPN2, as that looks to be a very big performance. 17th ranked UNC will go to Raleigh to face off against the NC State Wolfpack on ACC Network. At 8 o'clock, 6th-ranked Houston will host unranked Temple. First-ranked Gonzaga will face off against unranked Northwestern State. At 9 o'clock, third-ranked Kansas will host 7th-ranked West Virginia, as both teams are 7-1 and 1-0 in the Big 12. That's going to be a big game. And then at 9 o'clock, Fourth-ranked Iowa will face off against unranked Purdue. Iowa 6-1, Purdue is 6-2, so that looks to be a very big game as those leagues are concerned. Jumping out to soccer, because of course the Premier League matters as well. Chelsea was able to beat West Ham United as Tammy Abraham scored second half goals, and with the 3 goals they were able to jump up. And with the 3 points in the group, they were able to jump up. They are now 5th in the Premier League as they are currently 6 points removed from the top, but that was a very important win for them. Last but not least, jumping to the NBA, because of course the opening night of the NBA is tonight. On TNT, it'll be a doubleheader. At 7 o'clock, the Brooklyn Nets will host the Golden State Warriors as Kevin Durant faces off against the team that he won 2 championships with in Golden State. This game will be in Brooklyn, and then at 10 o'clock, it'll be an LA showdown between the Los Angeles Lakers, the defending champs, and the Los Angeles Clippers, as I believe their championship trophy or their championship banner will be hoisted in Staples Center, a very big one, as it commemorates their 17th championship in the NBA. That's everything that's going on with the NBA, everything that's going on with sports. Once again, I want to thank you for listening to all 6 minutes of this piece. Today, it is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020 out here in this quarantine, and then I'll get back to you tomorrow following these NBA matchups. Thanks once again for listening to my piece. I'm James Sims out here with the Elite, and peace out.